Hey guys, Phelpsy here. Here to do my stage 3 pick'ems. You catch me fresh out of the shower right before I'm going to bed. I'm all in my PJs, ready to go to sleep for the night. But I realized that I've got to do these now, and I can't do them tomorrow because I'm busy tomorrow night, and I might run out of time. So gonna do them now. We're gonna be doing things a little bit differently. We're gonna use the HLTV simulator tool to make my pick'ems. That way I can talk through a little bit more about how I think each game's gonna go, how I think each team's gonna play, and that way I get a better idea of who's gonna play who when. Because obviously the in-game tool doesn't really emulate that super well. And before we get into what my stage 3 pick'ems will look like, let's break down what my stage 2 pick'ems look like really quick. You can see I got 7 of them correct. Bait and 9Z snuck through. I really didn't expect that. I really did think Astralis and Gamer Legion were going to get through here, but Gamer Legion fell apart in this stage, so they ended up going out 0-3. They ended up actually losing to Bait. Bait did almost crumble, like I said. Well, they almost won out 0-3. So, I mean, wishy-washy with how this went. I'm still pretty happy with my results, getting 7 correct. So, I'm really happy with that. I am very surprised that Bait got through here. I'm also pretty surprised that 9Z got through here. They're a young South American team, so pretty surprised with that. But other than that, I'd say expected results. Gamer Legion, I expect to go through. I can't say I'm all too surprised that they didn't. Let's go ahead and get into my stage 3 pick'ems now. Like I said, we're going to be using the HLTV simulator tool to do our pick'ems. That way we can get a better idea of what the stage 3 matchups are going to look like. So let's go ahead and just start. Now, Vitality has had some time off. I guarantee they're practicing for this major. They won tournaments without practicing, so we're going to assume Vitality goes through 1-0 really easy. Navi, I think, with the way that Spirit's been playing and just the overall matchup between these two teams, I do think Navi's going to drop this map 1. I know Navi's usually pretty hot, but watching enough Navi in group stages, I know that they like to make it stressful. They really don't elevate their play until they're in playoffs, so I do think that they're going to lose this game against Spirit. I think they're going to come out slow. I think they're going to come out sloppy, just like they normally do. After watching so much Navi gameplay, I just have this feeling that they're going to come out really, really slow. They have a tendency to do that. I have a feeling they're going to do it here. All right, Falcons G2. I think this is going to go the way of Falcons. The reason I think it's going to go the way of Falcons is because of the fact that they've had time now with Kerrigan to practice. So I don't think you're going to see a lot of the same mistakes that they were making. I think their team play is going to be a lot better. I think their flash timing is going to be a lot better. I think their trade opportunities are going to be a lot better. I think they'll just come out looking like a different team than maybe the one we expected them to be with Kerrigan. We'll see what actually happens, but I do think that they're going to win this matchup versus G2, especially because it's a best of 3. This Mongols BetBoom game, I think BetBoom takes that. Genuinely, I think BetBoom takes that. Paravision 9Z, it's hard to say. Paravision did not look good the last few times I've seen them, but they've also had a lot of time off. So I'm not exactly sure what to expect from Paravision, but I do believe Jame can beat a young South American team convincingly. So I'm hopeful that Paravision comes out and wins that 1-0 to go up. Aurora versus Monty, I really think Monty takes that. I don't believe in Aurora at all. There's going to be a crowd in this stage, and I just don't think Aurora plays super well in front of the crowd. I also don't really believe in Aurora as a team. I might come to eat those words, but I don't really like Aurora. I don't think they're very good. So Fury versus Bait. I think Fury is going to come out with something to prove, so I think they're going to take that one pretty convincingly. And then this Mao's Legacy matchup is honestly a coin toss. Like, obviously, I saw a couple of their games with JL. They obviously didn't look fantastic. Brolin is coming back in for this roster. I don't know how that's going to go, considering he got booted out of the IGL role. They moved somebody else in. He's not coming back to IGL, so they're just kind of using him as a rifler. Brolin's obviously a very solid rifler, but I don't know if his time as an IGL on this team is going to interfere with his ability to be able to play the game. I've never seen him transition back to being a rifler like we've seen some of these other IGLs do when they get the reins taken away, like a Blame F. I think we're going to go with Maus just because I think Brolin is going to be good enough to get them through off that alone against this Legacy team. I don't think Art's going to be able to do anything super crazy, but you never know. So this game, Navi wins that Legacy matchup easily. I've seen them do it a bunch. Navi's definitely going to get that 1-1 matchup. Vitality, whoops Monty, 2-0. Falcons, I think, beat BetBoom pretty easily. And then we got Paravision Spirit. I think Spirit takes that. Furia Maus, that's, again, a toss-up. It depends on what form Furia comes out in. If they come out in major contention form Furia, I think they take this easily. If Maus come out and they look incredible with a new IGL and Brolin back on the rifle, Who knows? I mean, this is a toss-up kind of, but I think we got to take Furia in that one. Mongols bait. I think Mongols are going to win that. Aurora 9Z. I mean, after losing this game to Monty, I don't know if Aurora is going to have the ability to bounce back, so I'm going to take 9Z, and I think this Foot team beats G2. Again, then we've got Vitality Furia. I think Vitality takes that. Then we've got Spirit Falcons. This is an interesting matchup. I feel like historically it goes the way of Falcons, but I'm curious if Spirit's going to be able to figure anything out with Kerrigan at the helm now. I think we're going to go Falcons. I really do believe that Kerrigan with some time on this team. I mean, they call Kerrigan Batman for a reason. Give him prep time, and who knows what he can do. I think Kerrigan with some prep time will be able to get this team to a point of not only contention, but also just cohesion. That's going to be really hard for some of these other lower ranked teams to break. But we'll see. I mean, there's also a chance they come out and they just look like FaZe 2.0. Let's move into these 1-1 games. Paravision versus Mongols is super interesting. We're going to skip that one for now. BetBoom versus 9Z. I think BetBoom takes that. Navi versus Monty. I think Navi takes that. Mal's versus Foot. I think Foot takes that. G2 versus Legacy. I got to believe G2 gets that win. Bait versus Aurora. I think Aurora does get that win. So there are my O3s. I think Legacy and Bait are going to go out O3. I know that's kind of conventional. That's probably the expected result here. But I mean, just looking at these matchups here and going based off what I saw in that round 2, I mean, Legacy didn't look super great. They did kind of play into it a bit, but they didn't look fantastic. Same with Bait, especially from stage 1. Bait, I didn't believe was going to get through stage 2. They were able to scrap their way through stage 2 and did obviously end up getting here to stage 3, but I think this is as far as they're going to go here. I think they're going to kick the bucket at this point. Granted, I said that last stage, but I didn't put them as my O3 elimination, so who knows. Paravision versus Mongols is a super interesting game. I'm not exactly sure what to expect here. It's hard to say. It's hard to say for sure. I'm going to put the Mongols taking that, and then Spirit versus Mongols. Spirit takes that. Betvoom versus Navi. Navi takes that. Foot versus Fury is interesting. Foot versus Fury is very interesting because Foot is definitely competitive here. I think Foot can definitely take a challenge to Furia. Again, it depends on what form Furia comes out in. If Quesarado and Yuri are hitting really, really hard, I think that Foot's going to struggle a little bit. But I mean, Foot doesn't struggle in the firepower department. What Foot struggles in is the tactical part of the game, which I think has been getting better and better the more and more they play. So it's hard to say. I mean, Furia can definitely come out looking a little lackluster and just get run over with firepower, but I also think Furia is one of those teams that no matter what happens in a game, they're always going to be there. They're always going to be fighting for it. So it's definitely hard to say. I also think Foot thrives in those super scrappy games. It's definitely a tough call, but I think we're going to go with Foot here to qualify. That might be a little controversial at 3-1. I don't really care. I think Foot's a good team. Monty at 9Z. I think Monty takes that. Aurora Paravision. Imagine the cinema, boys. Imagine the cinema. Aurora Paravision. Oh, man. I think Xantares gets very tilted by James' playstyle, and I think Paravision takes that. G2 versus Mouse. I think I got to go with G2 there, which would be a disappointing result for Mouse. If that were to be the case where they go out 1-3 in the group, that would be worse than they had been doing. So I don't know. I don't believe this Mouse team is better than they were at all. I know they needed to make changes, but I don't think changing your in-game leader to another player on the team and then bringing in your old in-game leader to go back to rifling is the best formula, obviously. I mean, they've got Zelix. He looked okay, but he's also a rookie. I just think we're going to get some pretty disappointing performances from Zelix, and I think the rest of the team is going to be a little less cohesive than maybe we want them to look in this type of scenario. So definitely tough for sure, but that's just how it shakes out. BetBoom versus Paravision. What do we think there? Honestly, I'm going with BetBoom. I do think BetBoom can make the playoffs. I believe in Boomich. I believe in this team. How much do I believe in this team? I think Mongols beat Monty. I think Furia beats G2. Man, what's difficult with this BetBoom team is they've got that stand-in. They've only showed a couple of maps at this tournament. James is obviously going to make you go into your bag for every single map. So I don't know if BetBoom has that bag to really be able to get through a Paravision team. I think Paravision's just going to be able to kind of grind this out a bit. I think they've definitely got that win against 9Z. I do think they lose to Spirit. I do think they lose to Mongols. But then they get down here to this 1-2 decider, and I think they can beat Aurora. And then I think if it does end up being BetBoom, I think they can beat BetBoom. So, and I also believe if this isn't how this shakes out, I do believe that Paravision is going to be able to figure it out and get through this stage relatively convincingly. These are my pick'ems. Let's go ahead and get in game and lock them in now. Yeah, so here you go, guys. Let's lock in my picks. Boom, picks locked in. I think my only out of the box prediction is having Foot go through here. Maybe even having Navi lose a game or two and going through 3-1, 3-2. I've just seen Navi come out so many times in these group stage games and look slow. That's why I have them going through here, not 3-0, but 3-1 or 3-2. I think that's a fair assumption for them. Spirit has looked pretty good even without their coach. Got that going for them. I think they're still going to come out hot. They got through that first stage really easily. They've had time to rest. They've had time to recuperate. They've had time to anti-strat. And I do think Navi is going to drop that game in the opening stage. I've seen them lose to Spirit a countless number of times. I believe that they could do it again. Foot, I just believe super strong. Paravision, I can't doubt James. I love James as a player, but I think James as an in-game leader with his team around him can perform super well, and I think he's had some time away from the main stage to really cook and get his team ready. Mongols, just a super solid team. Furia, again, also just a super solid team. They're going to take you to those grinded out rounds, and then they're going to get it over the line then. These are my picks. We'll see how it goes. Let's hope for gold, at least. Fingers crossed. I can't get diamond because I missed the stage 1 pick'ems, but that's okay. I got 7 last stage. We'll see how many I get this time. Hopefully, hoping for 5, obviously. Who knows? Maybe I get none. We'll see what happens. I don't think anything too crazy is really going to happen in this stage. We're starting to get at the point of the major where games are becoming a little bit more predictable. I'm expecting some relatively standard results. Yeah, guys, I'm super excited to watch stage 3 of the major here. I think it's going to be a super competitive stage. It'll be really, really enjoyable CS. This is going to be some of the best CS that we've seen so far, obviously. So I'm very, very excited to see these high caliber teams play each other. If you guys made it this far in the video, be sure to give it a like. Helps out more than you know. If you like my content and want to see more, be sure to give me a sub. I'll be uploading more content on not only this major, but future events and maybe some news in the community as well. I plan on making this a CS2 hub of sorts. So if you liked the video, like the video. If you want more content, subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.